What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know, we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy. Had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, awesome. All right. Just a little message, a reminder that the Lord wants to bring to everybody here. And, you know, just to let people know some things that we are about to see. When it comes down to it, June is going to be a big month. And a lot of people right now are waiting on the Lord. And I need y'all to understand that the Lord always comes through. He always comes through. There's not one time that he's never came through. Okay? Because whatever he's doing, he's moving you to where he needs you to be. He's pulling you in a position that you didn't think that you needed to be in order to receive from him. You understand? And also he's building up these stories and testimonies for people to tell others that when we receive these transfers and go out, you can tell other people who have doubt, who called you crazy, who said this and said that about you, that listen, God had me in this situation and then I just got out of it because of him. He did this for me. This is his doing. I wasn't crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is what he can do for you in your life. And it will encourage other people to move towards him. It's just so important. And June is going to be a significant month. Huge. Downfall of the worldly, and we are excited because we're not worried about losing anything. Having to deal with the worldly aspect of things and the enemy trying to take from you. Now listen, it's great for us to be excited, but you've got to understand the devil not going to let you enjoy that too long. And as many transfers as there are going to be, he's going to be trying to snatch them. That's why it's important to have these wallets. That's why it's important to know how to use these wallets. That's why it's important to update if you have to update, if you got one of those wallets. It's important to do these things and have your knowledge and organization together, have things in order, because it's not just going to be transfer for every situation. The devil knows he's going to try to stop each one. But see, God got you covered, but you just got to follow instructions. You understand what I'm saying? So just because something good is happening does not mean that you forget how to be knowledgeable. All right? That has to be said because it's just the honest truth when it comes to blessings. So just an addition, my mom and my dad get back from the store. And my mom tells me there was this guy following them out. And he tried to pretend like he wasn't. And every time she turned around, he had like he wasn't, like looking. So he looked like he was going for a quick rob, a quick snatch, right? So it's so crazy that she was telling me this. Because it's nothing but God trying to enforce the message that you need to be careful when all these events occur, because we might be excited, but there are people who are doing wrong and aren't going to receive anything. It's like a opposite side effect of what God is doing for us. People are going to lose everything and have families and become desperate. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be showing off and running off your mouth to everybody about what you got. Because if you give to the wrong people, and that's what God was trying to teach me, if you give to the wrong people, you could be, number one, you know, trying to undo what he did to their life, or what is it? By trying to help, those people may not have the heart for those funds. And you could also be setting yourself up to get robbed. So you always have to make sure you ask God for permission to even give, because you don't know the type of traps being set up for you. It's so important that you be wise in this hour, because it's going to get chaotic when people don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? And things go all the way up. This is going to happen quickly. The summer going to be chaotic. Great for us, but, be on your guard. And when it comes to just being covered by the blood of Jesus before you walk out the door, you need to make sure you really be out here praying, because you need to be covered. You need to have that relationship. So God is trusting people who know how to guard themselves and know how to really give wisely. He's given them everything that he wants to give, some at different levels than others. Also, I saw a cat in the backyard, and I didn't see it jump over or nothing, but it looked like a whole tiger too. And I'm like, what? And so then the animals got to look at you in the soul. He looked at me twice in the soul, just looked at me, and then went about his business. I said, that ain't nothing but God. You got to be knowledgeable in this season. He's giving it to you because he can trust you with certain amounts of responsibility. And that leads me to the next thing, with spiritual levels and how God was explaining to me how people would receive. So all of those people putting that faith in him and moving in their purpose, doing the work for him, putting the time into him, putting the faith into him, building up that prayer bank, building treasures in heaven so that spiritually they can rain down upon your life. But if you haven't done that, what do you think you're going to get? And this is honesty. And you know where you're at with God. Everybody knows where they're at with God when it comes to how much you did for him, how much faith you put into him. Are you somebody that's just trying to get on a train and ain't did nothing and don't got no spiritual ticket? Where you at? So instead of saying permission this time, God was giving it to me in a different way for people to understand what he means when he says permission. So don't be surprised when the blessings come down and you only get a certain amount. It's all about how much you've built in heaven, the treasures that you've built and stored. The prayer bank, is it filled up? Is the faith there? You understand? There are people that get the highest of high because of how much they've put in. Just like, even though salvation has nothing to do with works, it doesn't mean that when you get into heaven that the rewards won't be there for your works. You understand that? You reap what you sow. So the thing is, there are going to be people that get everything that he wants to give, that he's trying to give out. So you're going to feel overwhelmed with blessings more than maybe another person. There are people that are in that middle level who, you may not be doing everything he needs you to do, but you have the faith in him. Like you got that faith. He may not be able to trust you with everything, but he can give you a good amount. It's like responsibility with children, like legit inheritance. Who can I trust with the most to do the right things and not get stolen from and misled and manipulated to send to the enemy? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of lessons that had to be learned over this time. Well, it's people that are barely making it into this. They haven't known too much about it. They really just starting to get in good with God, trying to build that relationship. So they're beginners in the spirit. So they get that type of level of blessing because they don't have the knowledge to hold mass amounts. And that's okay. You still gonna be all right. And then there's people that have built nothing in heaven, nothing, and they're gonna get nothing because they are somebody that says, "Oh, y'all scamming and you doing this and doing that," but then start seeing signs and going, "Ooh, let me get into this. Let me scramble. Oh, I remember that word. Let me get into this." And you know what you're gonna get? Nothing, because the funds aren't gonna be there. Access denied. It's like God told me. It's like trying to transact from a bank account with no funds in it. They're gonna tell you declined. Nothing is there. So that's people that are still in the world, but then want to jump on the bandwagon. You ain't getting nothing. And he means it. And you know, so based off everything that I was just saying, everybody knows where they're at. You know where you are. So with every coin, do you think you're going to be in every coin and get every coin? No. If you're not somebody that's fully walking right now with God and having that full faith in him and trusting him with everything, and he can trust you with everything that he wants to give you, you know what I'm saying? China is about to do something huge. And I told y'all about that vision I had with Chinese officials, that the vision I had back in September-ish. They was really throwing down in the meetings talking about what we gonna do with this money. And then I saw the leadership press a transaction button and funds were sent. So look, we are coming down to the wire. And you know, I remember Gabriel coming down when I was talking to God and saying people will be awake, wide awake when this happened, and people will just be waking up to an event that happened. And you know, he is all about that good news. So I'm thinking to myself, and this isn't something that God has told me like when or how, like I'm just giving it to y'all the way that I'm hearing it as well. That's different time zones. And one thing the Lord was telling me, he was talking about rain and abundance and the prophetic hour, you know, and you know, 12 to like 3-ish, 12 to 4-ish. It's like different times for you personally that he will wake you up to. So it's a lot of different things going on with time, with the instruction he gave me personally on certain things. And he was telling me at this time you may have many options. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't understand what that meant, but then I'm starting to see and think about it and I go, oh. So it's just a lot of clarity that's been given to me. And you know, some of these instructions I do keep personal because what happens when you give too much, people do too much. But be prepared because it's a lot of stuff coming and you personally know where you are standing with God or how much you've done and how much he can trust you with. It's one of them things you just know where you at in that spiritual level. You do. All right. But anyway, peace and blessings, and I will catch you guys in the next one.